You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
Damn.
That's Nazi propaganda. Wow.
Not
I
Nazi
thought it
propaganda.
It's gonna be like kind of bad.
That's gonna be in history books.
Damn.
The problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And so when we say good genes are the ones that—
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Mark. If I may jump in on my own show, what a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked hot when she did. Right? I mean, what are you talking about, man? This is... Let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No, I don't think she has bad genes.
So she has good genes? Does she have good genes?
No. Again, you're trying for these gotchas. If you
So
just
she doesn't
listen,
have good or bad genes?
the whole point is to argue that good and bad genes itself is a bad idea. It's a racist
Why can't
idea.
you have good genes, Mark?
Why is it racist?
If
Why
you all
can't
would
you have
allow
good
me to
genes?
answer. All right, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer, okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you.
In terms of what's going on with this American Eagle ad and little Sydney Sweeney causing all this problem with her Nazi little self. No, y'all gonna make her a Nazi, man. Y'all done made Trump a Nazi. Y'all done made Elon a Nazi. Now it's Sydney turn, man. White people can't do nothing, man. Y'all do anything, man. Y'all cut in line at Walmart, they gonna call you a Nazi. Sydney Sweeney, man. White people can't do nothing, man. Y'all can't do nothing without upsetting these people, man. Why is everyone so upset over the Sydney Sweeney commercials? Look, y'all, they making this out to be propaganda, Nazi propaganda. You're starting to see it. I don't understand what the backlash and the fake outrage is over this, but man, y'all will make a problem out of anything. Now it's a gene commercial. People can't. White people probably like, damn, we can't do nothing. What was it? Was that George Lopez? Man, we can't. Man, I can't do nothing. I know white folks is like that, man. We can't do nothing. Sydney Sweeney, who I personally think is a talented actress, very beautiful, man. She makes this commercial, and everybody seems to be upset about it, except for the people that are buying a ton of jeans because of this. But let's roll the tape, man. Let's see what the uproar, all the outrage is about. Little Sweeney, little Sweeney from the block.
Down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
She does. They are. All right. So offensive. Get this Nazi propaganda out of here.
Has very genes.
Okay, so before we get to Piers Morgan and his panel up here, I want to go to social media and get a little bit of this outrage that's going on over this over these commercials with little Sydney Sweeney.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
Damn.
That's Nazi propaganda. Wow.
Not
I
Nazi
thought it
propaganda.
was gonna be like kind of bad. That's gonna be in history books.
Damn.
I really wasn't going to weigh in on this, but here we go. It is so difficult to grow up as a person of color, specifically a woman, and view yourself as beautiful in any sense of the word, growing up in this country. I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting. For me, I can't help but think about the 13-year-old brown girl who gets all her denim at American Eagle, who already struggles to see her beauty and worth in a world that continues to value white, Eurocentric beauty standards.
If this ad campaign is not about eugenics, then I want to see them do the exact same ad campaign with a black woman.
Here you are.
Call me pretty little thing. Bad thing.
Now, it's not exactly the same, but hey, man, you got Beyonce. She did this Levi's jeans ad a long time ago, or some time ago. I think within the maybe last year, within the last year. And hey, man, her jeans look fantastic, man. Her jeans look fantastic. Shout out to one of my goats, Hove, man. That's his lovely wife. So I'm not gonna be respectful. I'm gonna be respectful. But Beyonce, she's a beautiful woman. She's very talented, singer, actress, dancer. She's a triple threat, you know. And she's beautiful on top of that. I don't recall hearing any outrage when the beautiful and talented Beyonce did a very similar ad, man. So I'll go as far as to say I like Beyonce jeans better. All right, man. You already know this lady got a lot to say. You could just tell, man. Just look at the face. Look at the hand on the hip. She about to tell y'all something.
Pissed off with this whole Sydney Sweeney American Eagle thing, honestly. It just sets us back decades. I mean, we were making really good progress there because, honestly, what do white people need to be on adverts for?
Damn.
What have white people ever done for us? It's just so racist, obviously, to put about jeans. I mean, at this point, American Eagle might as well be Hitler, because why are we celebrating white people? White people shouldn't really be in anything. Fuck the patriarchy, because that's all that Sydney Sweeney's doing, is complying to the male version of what a world should look like. And also, fuck Donald Trump, and also free Palestine.
Okay, you guys already knew that they was gonna go ahead and link this to Donald Trump. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for legacy media, left-wing media to blame Donald Trump for this commercial. You know it's coming. They blame him for everything, man. Don't want to give him credit for nothing, but blame him for anything that they view as negative.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Sydney Sweeney's jeans with American Eagle had the butterfly on them because she supports domestic violence awareness. Why would you pair a domestic violence awareness message with this hypersexualization of Sydney Sweeney? And there's the full mockery as well of objectification when Sydney is like, hey, my eyes are up here.
Literally, she's saying your jeans are what make up your attractiveness, and I'm attractive. And then she's doing a play on words to advertise jeans, denim, jeans, right? Yeah, literally. You can say this stuff doesn't go that deep, but it does. Commercials, programming, media, trends, pop culture, everything in the world is influential on the way that society thinks of people. Don't play stupid and think that this means nothing, that this isn't a dog whistle, because this ad in particular is maybe the loudest. You're supposed to internalize that being the prettiest girl means being this white, blonde, blue-eyed girl. And because I'm not that girl, I need to get some self-confidence. Because what I'm speaking is not valid, right? I'm just jealous.
And this right here is why I was not impressed when Sydney Sweeney was in that Madam Web movie. Because her whole brand has always been blonde hair, blue eyes, big boobs.
The American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad isn't landing because the demographic that would actually enjoy an over-sexualized ad for women's jeans, they're not buying women's jeans from American Eagle.
Okay, so that's interesting on that last one, saying that they're not buying American Eagle's jeans because This particular ad has been the catalyst for the recent sales. So it sounds like they have a lot of sales that's going on right now. But before we get to that,
My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
Martin Monhill, let's look at an earlier American Eagle ad, which was in the middle of the whole Me Too campaign and stuff.
Piers,
do you have any problem with the lady on the left there?
Do I have a problem with her? No, I don't have a problem with her.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem
You're
with the
not
woman on the
offended
right.
by that image?
I'm not.
Fascinating.
No.
You do have a
specifically
problem with
said,
the
let's
woman on the right?
No. Hold on. Two things. One, you specifically said let's not interrupt each other, and I haven't been able to articulate one sentence yet, and I've been interrupted twice. So let's follow your own rules.
No,
I'm not offended by the woman on the left. Let me complete the sentence. I am not offended by the woman on the left, nor am I offended by the woman on the right. The aha that you're going for isn't there because I'm saying I am not offended by either woman. What I am, please, I'm asking you respectfully, allow me to finish a thought. Two people have spoken uninterrupted for 3 minutes. I haven't gotten 10 seconds out. What I'm saying is that the problem is not either woman. The problem is how we're narrating the commercial. That's what people are concerned about. Several things have been said that I'd like to respond to in direct response to what you're asking me, Piers. The first thing, and I'm glad the last woman who spoke mentioned that she's Jewish because I think that's really important. Historically, there have been lots of anti-Semitic images, narratives, tropes that are used that non-Jews don't see. And many times someone will say, oh, wait a minute, they showed that person playing into the cabal narrative. They showed this person as a rodent, or they showed this person with changing their name to this or that. And the average person may not intend to be anti-Semitic, although some people are anti-Semitic, but it's still there and Jews recognize it. So I don't want to presume that because a white person doesn't see it, that means that it can't be racist, or if a black person doesn't see you know what I'm saying? We have to think about this on all levels from multiple audiences. You used the word normal and talked about it in the context of this white woman. White women are normal, but so are other people. The problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And so when we say good genes are the ones that—
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Mark. If I may jump in on my own show, what a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked hot when she did. Right? I mean, what are you talking about, man? This is... Let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No. I don't think she has bad genes.
So she has good genes? Does she have good genes?
No. Again, you're trying for these gotchas. If you
she doesn't have good or bad genes?
The whole point is to argue that good and bad genes itself is a bad idea. It's a racist idea.
Why can't you have good genes, Mark?
Why is it racist?
Why can't you have good genes? All right, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer, okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
stop being so precious, please.
The word you listen. The word eugenics literally means good genes. It literally means that etymologically. The point here is to judge human beings based on their genes and to decide that you have good genes and you have bad genes isn't in and of itself a racist project. That's the point. So no, it's not that I think that I have good genes and you can't say anyone else has good genes. I'm saying let's get rid of the good genes narrative, particularly when it's based on hair and eyes and body type. Why? Because those things are racially coded. In other words, if I say that straight hair is good genes or blonde hair is good genes, and no, I'm not after watching an ad, Googling someone to figure out their natural roots. You'd be shocked to know how many people don't do that. If I'm doing these things and I see blue, your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes. And the last thing I'll say is if you look historically at ads, at culture,
it doesn't though, does it? Calm down. Calm down. It doesn't actually mean that.
No.
Hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. My instruction about shouting was between the four of you, not me. It's my show. I do what I like.
Yes, I don't care if it's your show.
And my point is this.
If you interrupt me in the first minute, it's bad form. I'm saying that if you let the guest who agreed with you talk for 3 minutes, then don't allow me to talk for more than 1 second. You literally didn't let me finish the first sentence.
You have literally You have literally done more talking than all 3 other guests put together, multiple
That is
by
not
2
true.
or 3. So
That's
cool your
not true,
precious
but my
jets.
issue with you interrupting
Cool
was
your
not at
precious
this point,
jets.
it was at the first 10 seconds. My point was just to interrupt me in the first 10
Why?
seconds. So
Can you
much I've
calm
spoken now is
down?
irrelevant.
Can you
I'm
calm
fine.
down?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm talking over you.
Mark Lamont Hill said, I am not angry. I am talking over your ass, Pierce. Let me tell you something about Mark Lamont Hill, man. Even though a lot of his ideology I don't agree with, the brother is passionate, man. I give him that. He's very passionate. He's articulate. And he is, look, he going to get his respect. I'm talking over you. He going to get his respect. Look at him right here. Look at Mark, man. Look, this dude ready, man. He ready. Pierce, see, you look at Pierce, he loves to get under people's skin. Piers Morgan is one of the best at getting under people's skin, man. He does it well. And Mark Lamont Hill is easily triggered. So this right here is a winning combination. You get these two. So he's a frequent guest on Piers Morgan's show, and I see why, man. Every time he's on the show, he's entertaining. So yeah, let's continue. His brother is passionate, man. He's passionate. Look, I'm talking over you.
Right.
Can I jump in
I
here,
have
Pierce?
blue eyes. Right. I also have good genes, particularly on my mother's side, because my skin is surprisingly good for a person of my age, because my mother's side all had good skin. You got a problem with that? Mark?
Is that for me?
You got a problem with that? Yes. If I say I've got good genes from my mother because I have good skin and I've got blue eyes, so what?
So what color eyes are what color eyes are bad genes? If someone has bad genes, what would their hair or skin look like?
I don't think any are bad. I didn't see anybody from American Eagle
Why do you always
saying
need to
that
assume
anybody
the
else
negative?
is.
No one said anything
No
was
one
bad.
from
Can I jump in
just to be
here?
clear. Hang on. Nobody from American Eagle was making any comparison. Nobody said somebody else's eye color or skin color was wrong or bad or anything negative. All they said, in an amusing pun, is that Sydney Sweeney has good genes and is wearing great jeans. That's it.
And
There was no
here's why I
negative about anybody else.
And here's why I disagree with that. Because if I were to stand on here and say, oh, she's from a good background, she's Gentile, then we would all say, well, wait a minute. I didn't compare to anybody else. No, by saying that Gentile is the good background, I would be implicitly saying that the others are not. If I say I have a good body, I'm skinny, then I'm saying that other bodies are not good. It's an implicit comparison, but it's not out of context. Historically, in this country and in the West, we've always said that white bodies are more beautiful. So it's not like we're coming out of nowhere here. This is out of Zeus's head. We're starting from a place where we've already presumed white superiority.
We have spent.
Here's the problem. The Democrats have just polled at record low.
Quick before Pierce gets going on the Democrats and he gets going on that topic, man. Look, me personally, ever since I was a child, I've always thought women who were brunettes and black hair were more attractive. I'm not saying that women with blonde hair or red hair are not attractive. I'm just talking about for myself. So it goes against what he's expressing. I don't share those same thoughts. And there's a lot of people I know that's like that. They just prefer, women that are brunettes or with black hair. I understand what Mark Lamont Hill is passionately saying. I just don't agree with it.
Right? They are incredibly unpopular. And I can tell you one of the reasons why. It's things like this. The reason Donald Trump got reelected is partly the economy, partly immigration, but also partly the culture wars, which the liberal left, the woke left, tried so dementedly to fuel and fire for so many years, behaving like a bunch of insane fascists. And it comes down to stuff like this, where most people watch this ad and see it for what it is, a harmless ad with a hot actress selling jeans. But in the prism of the woke left, which I assume you would identify as, but correct me if I'm wrong, you look at it and see it as an obvious example of Nazism, eugenics, white supremacy, and you hate it and despise it, and anyone who likes it must be cancelled. And that's the problem with the woke left. That's why nobody wants to vote for anyone who identifies with the woke left. That's why Trump one. And no one on the
Facts.
left, in the woke left, seems to understand that it's exactly this kind of thing that is the reason that nobody wants to vote for you.
But not only that, Piers, what's important to note is that the people who created this ad were not creating a racist ad. But the people who saw racism and eugenics and Nazism in this ad, maybe they should self-examine. Why do they see everything through the lens of race? Why are they outraged by this ad with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, but if you put a black girl, if you put a Spanish girl, there would be no outrage? Why is everything that they see from the perspective of jumping into outrage?
No one ever argues that no one in the history of the West has ever argued that black people have superior genes. The Enlightenment era was built on the
people have been arguing.
People had superior genes.
Mark, people have been saying
built on the idea that white people have superior bodies. Every piece of aesthetics, of philosophy,
that is
of epistemology, every piece
what
of
you're
Western
saying is
thought
untrue.
and action.
There has been a massive, hold on a second, there has been a massive battle in this country about obesity for the longest time. You now have the condemnation of thin people. You have the elevation of obese people. You have campaigns, Cosmopolitan magazine, magazines across the country saying fat is healthy, fat is the new skinny, fat, all the time. No one says a peep. People in your camp do not say a peep about that because it's not on the list of things that outrages them. This annoys all the right people. This is a thin woman. It annoys the fat girls.
I'm not talking about skinny, ma'am. Just hear me out. I'm not talking about skinny.
It's the same conversation, Mark.
No, it's
you just
not.
happen to be outraged about something different today. Today, it's about race and eugenics. Tomorrow, it's about obesity. There's always something for the woke left to be outraged about because they're always offended. They've always got their panties in a bunch because they're so darn sensitive about everything. They are not representative of the public.
Last word to you, Mark Lamont Hill. Otherwise, you'll be reporting me.
I'm not outraged, number one. And number two, I point out a history of white supremacist logics and cultures that show that white lives, white bodies, white experiences are better. And you pointed to the recent.
This is not about history.
Please let me finish. You pointed to the influx of fat people on ads as a piece of counter evidence. I'm not disputing your argument about fat people. I'm not disputing your argument about skinny people.
All I'm saying is that
I know what you're saying. You said it. I'm saying now let me say it. I'm saying that there's a history of white people being superior in terms of how we understand them in this country.
So you're only mad that Sydney's white. You don't care about the good gene line.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask her a question. If a group of people had said, "Hey, I believe that this ad is anti-Semitic," would you have said similarly, "Get over yourself, stop fighting anti-Semitism everywhere"?
Yes.
What would you have said?
Yes.
It depends
I would have said, "Get over yourself."
And
it's not
100% I would have done.
Would you say?
100% I would have done. We've got to leave it there. A fascinating debate.
Piers, I think you're consistent and wrong on all the issues. I think you're wrong all the time, but you're consistent. So I wasn't asking. I was only asking her. Piers, can I write the forward to that book, please?
No, but you can buy a copy. You might learn something. You might learn.
Man, that was intense, man. You know, that panel was intense. I appreciate Piers Morgan's his show. I really do, man. He has a way of getting the best out of people. He has a way of striking a chord at people that brings the emotion out in them. And Mark Lamont Hill, he goes off, man. He's on Piers Morgan's show, and I've seen him on other things, and he gonna speak his mind. I give him credit and respect for that. In terms of what's going on with this American Eagle ad and little Sydney Sweeney causing all this problem with her Nazi little self. No, y'all gonna make her a Nazi, man. Y'all done made Trump a Nazi. Y'all done made Elon a Nazi. Now it's Sydney turn, man. White people can't do nothing, man. Y'all do anything, man. Y'all cut in line at Walmart, they gonna call you a Nazi. You go to the restaurant and skip out on your bill, they gonna call you a Nazi. Hey, man, that's a Nazism. They acting like a Nazi. Everybody a Nazi, man. Oh my God, hilarious, man. My woman, she's white, man. So I'm gonna start calling her Nazi. She pissed me off. Acting like a Nazi. But what if she come back and say you acting like an N-word? I'll be like, what? That's that Nazism in you. See, baby, you acting like a Nazi again. Man, white people's like, man, we can't do nothing. Man, we can't do nothing. Sydney Sweeney, man, she got y'all in shambles, man. Y'all over here in shambles. Y'all are upset. Y'all is mad at her. Y'all is mad, big mad at Lil Nazi Sydney Sweeney.
The American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad isn't landing because the demographic that would actually enjoy an over-sexualized ad for women's jeans, they're not buying women's jeans from American Eagle.
American Eagle stock. Did you see what happened yesterday?
They dropped.
The American Eagle stock went up 6 to 12% in regular trading. After hours, it went up 15 to 22%, making them $200 to $300 million like this. That's what she just did. Like this, made them money. In one day, $200 million.